We have a lot to talk about today, because the regular season is reaching that point where every lap, every position, and every decision suddenly feels like it could change everything. And today, we've got two big stories that could have a major impact on what comes next. From a playoff battle that's getting seriously tense, to a move that could shape the future of one of NASCAR's biggest organizations. If you're enjoying these NASCAR conversations, hit that like button and subscribe to NASCAR Nation Report. We're still a new channel. We're chasing that 15,000 subscriber goal. And honestly, it would mean a lot to have you here as part of this community from the very beginning. Because these next few weeks, NASCAR is about to get very, very interesting. Christopher Bell's 2026 season has reached a point where, honestly, you almost don't know whether to feel impressed or frustrated for the guy. Bell has been fast all year. He's been competitive all year. He's been right there when it matters. And yet somehow, with the playoffs just 2 races away, he still doesn't have a single win. That's not because he hasn't had chances. Christopher Bell has finished second 7 times this season. 7. His latest runner-up finish came at Iowa Speedway, and that 7th second-place result tied Harry Gant's 1981 record for the most second-place finishes in a Cup Series season without a victory. Think about how crazy that is. Bell has been good enough to finish second 7 different times, but he still hasn't found a way to get that trophy. And Iowa might have been the most frustrating example of all. Bell led 108 laps and looked like he had the speed and track position to win the race. His 20 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota was absolutely in the fight. But a late pit stop decision ultimately helped his teammate, Ty Gibbs, take the victory. And Bell admitted afterward that the loss hurt because he knew his car had been good enough to win. That's the part that makes this situation so fascinating to me. We're not talking about a driver who's struggling to find speed. We're talking about a driver who's repeatedly putting himself in position to win, and just hasn't been able to finish the job. And somehow, despite having 0 wins, Bell is still 7th in the Cup Series standings with 695 points. He's also got 10 top 5 finishes. So let's be honest, Christopher Bell is absolutely a championship contender. The problem is that if you want to make a deep playoff run, eventually you have to turn those second-place finishes into victories. And now the regular season is almost over. There are only 2 races left before the playoffs begin, New Hampshire and Daytona. While Bell is trying to find that breakthrough win, the pressure is getting even heavier for the drivers fighting just to get into the playoffs. Denny Hamlin currently leads the standings with 969 points. Ryan Blaney is second, followed by Ty Gibbs and Tyler Reddick. But the real tension is further down the standings. Shane Van Gisbergen currently occupies the 16th and final playoff position with 567 points. And right behind him, the situation gets uncomfortable. Ryan Preece has 517 points. Ross Chastain has 504. Brad Keselowski has 489. Eric Jones has 486. That means Ryan Preece is only 50 points behind Shane Van Gisbergen. Ross Chastain is 63 points back. With 2 races remaining, those are absolutely manageable gaps. And this is where the playoff battle gets dangerous. Because the drivers outside the top 16 aren't just trying to collect a few extra points anymore, they need something big. A win at New Hampshire or Daytona could completely change the playoff picture. And that's especially important because Daytona is the kind of place where everything can go sideways in a heartbeat. New Hampshire comes first on August 23rd, and then the regular season finale arrives at Daytona on August 29th. Those 2 races couldn't be more different. At New Hampshire, drivers can focus on execution, speed, points, and putting together a strong race. Daytona is chaos. One crash can wipe out a championship contender. One late restart can completely change the standings. And one unexpected winner could potentially push somebody currently inside the playoff field out of the postseason. So if you're sitting around that cutoff line right now, you can't afford to relax for even a second. And there's another reason Daytona could be especially unpredictable this year. NASCAR is introducing a significantly revised super speedway package for the regular season finale. The rear spoiler is being reduced from 7 inches to 4 inches. Engine output is also dropping from approximately 510 horsepower to 465 horsepower. NASCAR expects single car speeds to be roughly 3 miles per hour faster, while speeds inside the pack should remain relatively similar. And the goal here is pretty clear. NASCAR wants to reduce drag and give drivers more opportunities to create runs and make passes instead of getting trapped in one line. The sport has been looking for ways to reduce how important fuel saving and track position can become. At Superspeedway's Daytona is going to be the first major test of whether this revised package actually delivers what NASCAR wants, and if it creates more aggressive passing and more movement throughout the pack. Well, that could make the playoff battle even crazier. Imagine being a driver sitting right around that 16th place cutoff, knowing that the entire playoff picture could change because of one restart with this new package. That's the kind of pressure we're heading toward. But the championship picture isn't the only major story surrounding NASCAR right now. The sport is also continuing to honor the legacy of Kyle Busch. August 18th was officially recognized as Kyle Busch Day, celebrating the two-time Cup Series champion through the numbers that became so closely associated with his career. No. 8 and no. 18, Kyle Busch passed away unexpectedly in May at the age of 41, leaving behind one of the most accomplished careers in NASCAR history. 2 Cup Series championships and an incredible 230 victories across NASCAR's 3 national series. That's a legacy that isn't going to disappear. And the tributes are continuing. Ty Gibbs is scheduled to drive a special No. 54 Toyota at Bristol on September 19th, featuring an iconic M&M's-inspired paint scheme as part of the tribute to Busch, and Bristol makes that tribute even more meaningful because it was one of Busch's most successful tracks. There's also a public celebration of Busch's life scheduled for October 9th at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So even while NASCAR is dealing with the intensity of the playoff race, the sport is continuing to remember one of its biggest stars. And then there's another piece of the future beginning to take shape with Noah Gragson. The 2027 silly season is already starting to develop, and Gragson has agreed to a contract extension with Row Motorsports that will keep him with the organization through at least the 2027 Cup Series season. The agreement also includes options that could extend the relationship beyond that point. What's interesting is that Gragson hasn't exactly had the kind of 2026 season that would make this an obvious decision. He's recorded just one top 10 finish so far this year. But Row Motorsports clearly still believes in the 28-year-old driver. Instead of making a major change, the organization has chosen stability. And from a team perspective, that gives Row some certainty as the rest of the silly season begins to take shape. So when you put all of this together, this is a NASCAR season that's entering a pressure cooker. Christopher Bell is still chasing the win that could finally turn an incredibly consistent season into a championship threat. Shane Van Gisbergen is sitting directly on the playoff cutoff. Ryan Preece and Ross Chastain are trying to close the gap. Brad Keselowski and Eric Jones are still in the conversation. Daytona is bringing a completely different superspeedway package. And everybody already inside the playoff field knows that one bad race could change everything. New Hampshire is next. Daytona comes after that. And once the checkered flag falls at Daytona, the regular season is finished. For Christopher Bell, those races could be the final opportunity to enter the playoffs with the confidence of finally getting that first win. For the drivers on the bubble, those races could determine whether they get a shot at the NASCAR Cup Series championship or spend the playoffs watching from home. The pressure is officially on. Now, let's move to the second story, because this one is much more about the future of NASCAR, and specifically, the future of Hendrick Motorsports. And there is a possibility that Hendrick isn't just planning for one driver to leave. The organization could already be thinking about life after Kyle Larson. Now, let's be very clear about this. Kyle Larson isn't leaving Hendrick Motorsports anytime soon. He's under contract through the 2031 season, and he's still one of the biggest stars in the entire sport. But Larson has recently acknowledged that his future could be reassessed around the age of 40. He has not announced a retirement date. There is no indication that he's walking away from Hendrick anytime soon. But Larson has also made it clear that his family and his priorities outside NASCAR could eventually influence how long he wants to continue competing at the highest level. And for an organization like Hendrick Motorsports, that's something you have to think about years before it actually happens. That's where Connor Zilisch becomes extremely interesting. On the surface, Hendrick's interest in Zilisch already makes perfect sense. Alex Bowman is set to retire from full-time NASCAR competition after the 2027 season. That creates an opening in the No. 48 Chevrolet for 2028. and Zilisch is reportedly one of the leading candidates. But the bigger possibility is that Hendrick could be thinking 2 moves ahead. Connor Zilisch is only 20 years old, but his reputation as one of NASCAR's most talented young drivers has already made him one of the most highly coveted prospects in the garage. His Rookie Cup season with Trackhouse has been difficult, but that hasn't erased what he accomplished before reaching NASCAR's Premier Division. In 2025, Zilisch won 10 races in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. He's been viewed for a long time as a potential future superstar, and NASCAR.com recently described him as one of the sport's hottest prospects. Hendrick's interest in him is already well documented. Reports indicate that Zilisch is at or near the top of Hendrick's list for the No. 48 Chevrolet in 2028. FOX Sports. Bob Pockrass has also argued that Hendrick may want to secure the young driver before another organization gets the opportunity. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense. Because if Hendrick brings Zilisch into its ecosystem early enough, the organization could have a young potential superstar developing under its umbrella while Kyle Larson continues leading the No. 5 team. That's an enormous advantage. Now, imagine the timeline. Zilisch arrives at Hendrick for the 2028 season at just 22 years old. Kyle Larson would be 35. That could give Hendrick several seasons to develop. They could familiarize him with the organization's culture, its sponsors, its technical structure, its expectations, and most importantly, they could figure out whether Connor Zilisch really has what it takes to become a franchise-level Cup driver. Then, if Larson eventually decides that his time in NASCAR is coming to an end somewhere around his 40s, Hendrick wouldn't suddenly have to look around the garage and ask, okay, who's available? The potential successor could already be inside the organization. And that's the kind of long-term planning that has helped make Hendrick Motorsports the winningest organization in NASCAR history. There's another major factor here too. Young superstars don't stay available forever. Trackhouse owner Justin Marks has already acknowledged that Zilisch is highly sought after, while also making it clear that Trackhouse remains committed to him through the end of 2027. So if Hendrick genuinely believes Zilisch can become a future Cup champion, waiting until Kyle Larson announces his retirement would make very little sense. By that point, Zilisch could already be locked into another long-term contract somewhere else. And Hendrick has actually been through a similar transition before. Remember Jimmy Johnson? Hendrick already knows what happens when an all-time great decides to walk away. Johnson retired after the 2020 season, creating one of the biggest holes Hendrick Motorsports had faced in decades. Alex Bowman eventually took over the No. 48, and Bowman went on to win 8 Cup Series races with Hendrick. Now Bowman is preparing to leave full-time competition after 2027. So Hendrick already knows another transition is coming. But there's one major difference this time. The organization has years of advance notice. That gives Hendrick the luxury of being patient. Instead of simply finding somebody to fill the No. 48 Chevrolet, Hendrick can potentially use that opening to acquire a driver who could eventually become much more than Alex Bowman's replacement. And that's why Connor Zilisch could be such an important piece. He could potentially become the bridge between Hendrick's current superstar era and whatever comes next. Think about it. Kyle Larson, the superstar of the present. Connor Zilisch, the potential superstar of the next generation. And several seasons in between where Hendrick can develop Zilisch and figure out whether he's capable of eventually taking over the role. Larson currently Now, obviously, none of this means Hendrick Motorsports has decided that Connor Zilisch will replace Kyle Larson. That's not what we're saying. The immediate situation is much simpler. Alex Bowman is leaving full-time competition after 2027. Connor Zilisch is one of the leading candidates to replace him in the No. 48 Chevrolet for 2028. And NASCAR has also identified Corey Day, another young driver already developing within the Hendrick system, as a potential option. So there are multiple possibilities. But the bigger picture is still impossible to ignore. Hendrick Motorsports has a rare opportunity right now. The organization could potentially secure one of NASCAR's most promising young talents before another team gets the chance. And if Kyle Larson eventually decides that 40 is the right age to step away from NASCAR, Hendrick could already have the next superstar developing inside the organization. That's not reacting to the future. That's preparing for it before it arrives. And if Connor Zilisch becomes the superstar that so many people believe he can become, Hendrick Motorsports could eventually look back at this period and realize that bringing him into the organization was the move that secured the next face of its NASCAR empire. And honestly, that's what makes both of these stories so interesting. The first one is about right now. Christopher Bell trying to finally win. Shane Van Gisbergen trying to protect the final playoff spot. Ryan Preece, Ross Chastain, Brad Keselowski, and Eric Jones trying to close the gap. New Hampshire and Daytona sitting there as the final two opportunities. And a new Daytona package that could completely change the way the regular season finale plays out. But the second story is about what's coming next. Hendrick Motorsports isn't just thinking about the next race. It may be thinking about the next generation. Kyle Larson is still the present. Alex Bowman still has another full season ahead of him. But Hendrick knows that eventually, every era changes. And Connor Zilisch could potentially be part of what comes after this one. That's what makes this point of the NASCAR season so fascinating. We're watching one battle unfold right in front of us, while another one is quietly taking shape years into the future. And as fans, that's the stuff I love about NASCAR. The championship fight can change in one race. A driver's career can change with one opportunity. And sometimes, the move that matters most isn't the one happening this weekend. It's the one a team makes years before anybody realizes how important it really was. So now, I'm curious what you guys think. Can Christopher Bell finally get that first win before the playoffs begin? Do you think Ryan Preece, Ross Chastain, Brad Keselowski, or Eric Jones can break through and steal a playoff spot? What do you think the new Daytona package is going to do to the regular season finale? And looking further ahead, do you think Connor Zilisch is the right guy for Hendrick Motorsports? Could he really be the driver who eventually takes over from Kyle Larson if Larson decides to step away around 40? Want to hear your take? Because these aren't simple questions anymore. The regular season is almost over, the playoffs are getting closer, and NASCAR's future is already starting to take shape. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, drop your opinion in the comments, and subscribe to NASCAR Nation Report. We're still a new channel, and we're building this community from the ground up with fans who actually love talking NASCAR every single day. We're chasing that 15,000 subscriber goal, and if you're here early, you're part of that journey. So thank you for being here, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.